The second parent skill is recognizing when your baby sends out an SOS. SOS stands for Sign of Overstimulation. All newborns are at times overstimulated as they adjust to being out in the world. Babies born early SOS more often. The first way babies send out an SOS is with changes in their body's skin color, movement, and breathing. This baby, who was born a few weeks early, shows these body SOSs. See how his face turns a bit red in color? His muscles jerk and shake, and his breathing gets faster. The second way babies send out an SOS is with changes in their behavior, spacing out, switching off, and shutting down. This baby demonstrates the first behavioral SOS, spacing out. Watch as Jan plays with the baby by shaking a rattle. The baby begins to look like she is staring into space. Spacing out is a sign of overstimulation. This baby demonstrates the second behavioral SOS, switching off, described in the medical literature as gaze aversion. The harder the mother tries to get the baby's attention, the more the baby looks the other way. This switching off is a sign that the baby is trying to manage the amount of stimulation she takes in. Mothers are relieved to learn what this behavior means, and that it is not a sign that the baby is rejecting her. This baby demonstrates the third behavioral SOS, shutting down. Again, we see Jan playing with a baby. Though the baby is momentarily engaged with this play, she soon begins to get drowsy and shuts down as a response to too much stimulation. When you notice your baby having an SOS, you wonder how to help. You can respond to an SOS by decreasing stimulation and increasing support of your baby. Decrease stimulation by speaking quietly to the overstimulated baby. Increase support by holding your baby's hands against his chest or gently swaying him. Putting your baby skin to skin or breastfeeding him will also decrease that SOS.
This is little Maria, who's now 2 weeks old, but she has a special story because she decided to come into this world 4 weeks early.
Well, of course, because I've had 4 kids, I kind of know what to expect. And in the hospital, she just had little tics where she would jerk or her eyes would roll in the back of her head, and she would just fall asleep at the drop of a dime, and we would change her clothes or weigh her even. The startle reflex would just be really too much for her. She would turn beet red and scream, and just it seemed so traumatic. Next, you explained to me about premature babies being overstimulated and how they can shut down to keep from processing that information so it doesn't overstimulate them. They kind of shut down, and you gave me some information that showed me how to keep her from going to be overstimulated.
Here she is at only 2 weeks old, and she is already way past her birth weight.
So yeah, this is 6 months later. With Miss Tedder's help, we learned how to keep our babies comfortable and how to make sure that we don't overstimulate our babies. And because of that, we have a 6-month-old superstar. When I tell people she's a preemie, they just laugh and say, "Yeah, right."
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, you have so much to say. Dad.